Alright, so I just recently posted a new Banjo jam track for the song Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. Awesome song, awesome band. In that track, there is space for you to add a banjo part. So in this video, I am going to demonstrate what I would play for that banjo part, and I'll sing along as well. And then after I demonstrate, I will then show you what I'm doing in that part. So what I'm playing for the little lead lick as well as what I'm playing when I sing. All right, here we go. Where is my mind? When your feet on the air and your head on the ground, try this trick and spin it, yeah. Head'll collapse, and there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the waters, it's swimming. I went swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rocks, yeah. Except a little fish, but they told me swans trying to talk to me, chord. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the waters, it's swimming. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground, try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head'll collapse, and there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the waters, it's swimming. Okay, so first things first, we're in the key of E in this song. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay in standard G tuning, but we're just going to retune our 5th string to E. So we've got a D on the 4th string, a G on the 3rd, a B on the 2nd, a D on the 1st, and then 2nd fret of the 1st string is our 5th string, matches our 5th string, which is an E. Okay, so it's E, D, G, B, D. Okay, not an open tuning, but if we play an E chord, there we can hear it. We're right for the key of E. So this allows us to play out of standard G chord positions that we know and play it in the key of E just by retuning our 5th string. So those of you who have been through the Bright fretboard mastery system, this will all be familiar to you. And I'll also reference the chord shapes for that system as we go through it. Speaking of chords, here's what you're going to need for this song. We're going to play them. I'm going to play them at 2 separate locations like I did in the demonstration. So the first place we'll go over them is here in kind of the middle of the fretboard. We have our E major chord, okay, which is tre position at the 6th fret. Okay, what some of you may know as a D shape. So if you take your standard D major chord, move it down 2 frets, you've got that E major chord, which is our 1 chord in the key of E. So right, so that's what the song starts on, and it follows this same chord progression throughout much of the song. So we start on this 1 chord, Then it moves to the 6th chord, which is our C sharp minor in this case. You don't have to worry about it. Easier just to remember the Nashville numbers. 6th chord. So again, 1 chord to the 6th chord. And then we play our 3 chord, but in this case, it's a major 3 chord, right? Normally the 3 chord is a minor chord. In this case, we're gonna major it to get this, which is technically a G sharp major. So it's just like our 1 chord. All we're doing is switching the positions of our index and middle finger. Bam. All right, so we've got our 1 chord, 6 chord, 3 chord, major 3 chord, and then the last one, we just move that position down 1 fret for what is our 4 chord, okay? So all together. And that's the chord progression throughout much of the song. It's also the chord progression for that signature lick that you hear throughout. And we'll get to that next because we're gonna play that while fingering these chord shapes that we just made, all right? So here's the tab for the first part here, that signature lick. And we're playing strings, strings 1 and 2. We're fingering the 5th, the 2nd string at the 5th fret and the 1st string at the 6th fret, but we've got it in that chord position, right? That 1 chord. And we're just playing, okay, over that 1 chord. Now the song switches now to the 6th chord. The notes stay the same. But if you play those over that without fretting those other notes, since the banjo is such a resonant instrument, you'll hear those other notes ringing out, so you won't get that full experience of that chord change, the harmony that's changing there, even though the notes themselves are the same. Also, if you want to hit multiple strings, fingering the chord enables you to do that as well. If you want to add more of the flavor of the chord, all right? So then we move to, remember now we move to that major 3 chord, and we're still just playing strings 2 and 1. We've just changed now, we're playing the 4th fret of the 2nd string. Okay, so all together. And then finally we're gonna slide this position 1 fret up, and we're gonna play that slide 4th fret of the 2nd string to the 5th fret as we're sliding that chord. So again, slide, and then. All right, so that gives a nice little banjoistic tag to the end of that signature lick. So we have this all together. Play that for an hour and never get tired of it. All right, so that's the signature lick. That's the intro. Now we'll move on to the backup for the vocals. Again, it's gonna be over that same exact chord progression. So really, we're just gonna pick some rhythmic patterns behind our voice or behind someone else's voice if you're not the one who's gonna be doing the singing. I have tabbed out in the tab that you can download. One way of doing it, but there are multiple ways, so you don't have to be locked into this. And I would encourage you, as you're practicing along with the jam track, to just mess around with different patterns. But here I'll demonstrate what I've got here tabbed out, all right, which will work just fine. So first I'll just sing over it with the chord progression. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Okay, that's the chord. Here's what I play in the first measure. Okay, 2nd measure, 3rd measure, 4th measure. So with singing, with your feet on the air and your head on the ground. And just repeat. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. Had a collapse. So for that very last time through in the 4th measure, instead of doing the slide, I just did. So once again, okay, now we're going into Where Is My Mind? Now again, we're still doing the same chord progression. I like to switch and go down the neck for these just to add some different, just a different sound to make that transition more pronounced. So we're gonna be playing the same chords, we're just gonna be playing them here down the neck. All right, so we've got our 1 chord here, which is the E major again, okay? Our 6th chord, all we're doing is moving or fretting that 2nd fret, that 2nd string, the 2nd fret. It's the only difference from the E major from the 1 to the 6th chord. And then to that major 3 chord, it's barring at the 1st fret, and then to the 2nd, to the bar at the 2nd fret for the 4 chord, which is just again 1 fret above. So 1, 6, major 3, and 4. All right, now here's what I'm playing. I like to kind of drag my thumb across the strings just to get more of that chord sound when I do it. So singing sounds like this. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? All right, pretty straightforward. Now we've got the next part, way out. All right, which is a different chord progression. And then we're gonna go back to this first area of the fretboard where we were. Same as that, starts with that 1 chord, way out. And then it moves to that major 3, in the water. To the 4, it's swimming. And then it moves to from the 4 to the minor 4, right? So the only difference there is we're shifting this 3rd string at the 6th fret to the 5th fret, right? So switching from that major A chord to the A minor, right? So both this and that major 3 chord are technically what we call non-diatonic chords. They're not part of this scale, but they're also what make this song really cool, all right? And then so we got the A minor, and then back to our 6, and then we go to the 5 chord, barring at the 4th fret, which is technically a B major. Only time the 5 chord makes an appearance in this song. All right, so all together it's way out in the water, it's swimming. 6, 4. All right, so what I'm playing there when I'm singing it, just like before when we were down in this part of the neck. And then for that minor chord, I just brush it, let it hang. Then we go to the 6. Okay, once again. And then to that 4 chord. Once again. All together with singing. Way out in the water, it's swimming. All right, something like that. Okay, that's it. That's the song. So you've gotten all the parts. You got the little lick. And then you've got the chord progressions for all the vocals and ideas about some patterns that you can play behind your voice or someone else's voice as they're being sung. Again, I encourage you though to just mess around with the track. You know the chords, put your fingers there, see what happens with your fingers with your picking hand to come up with patterns of your own. You might come up with the same ones that I did. You might come up with something different. You can reference the tab if you want to see what I did there. But again, play around with it, have a lot of fun with it. Not too challenging a song, but super cool, super fun to play. All right, thanks for watching.